Hello everyone and welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We are in for a treat this evening. Let me jump straight in and introduce our special guests for the live stream. So we are joined by AIE event expert Emma Humphreys. Thanks for being with us, Emma.
Thank you.
And we both Emma and I are excited to have on our guests of AIE and future experts, Victoria and Jazmin. So thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so throughout tonight's live stream, everybody, if you are joining us via YouTube, website, Facebook, any social media platform, I don't know if we're on TikTok Live, but sure, why not? Feel free to ask questions via chat and we'll definitely do our best to get them answered. But other than that, Emma, I'll hand over to you and let's meet the future expert.
Thank you so much, Matt. So everyone who's tuning in tonight, we have a Canberra All-Star guest group tonight. So we're going to be talking to Victoria and Jazmin, who are two of our first years for our course. So they're both doing their individual streams. So we've got game design and programming to cover off two of our bases there so that we can hear about all the exciting stuff you've done so far in the course. It's only been a few weeks, but you're already so good. So we'll just start off by kind of talking about how all of this came to be and how you guys decided that, you know, game design and programming were where you wanted to go in life. So my first question to start off with is, what got you into this industry? How did you guys kind of find out about games and all of that sort of stuff?
Do you want to go first, Victoria?
Sure. So I was a travel agent, so I guess you can see where this story is going. The pandemic hit and I was working from home and trying to connect with friends and trying to do things by Zoom, which I think we all were. And my friend and I came up with this awesome PowerPoint presentation game. So I wanted to pay someone to make it, and then looking into that, I had to find out what engine to use, and then I thought I'll just try it, and that went really well. And then we ended up making Spot That Sound instead, but the other one's still happening as well. But then I realized how much I loved it and was really good at it, I wanted to pursue it.
Awesome. How about you, Jasmine?
Not as exciting. I've kind of always had an interest since I was in school. It was like a spin-off subject that we had to do. So I did it just because I was interested in games at the time, and it took off from there. Kind of did it as a hobby until now.
Yeah, awesome. Well, going off that, so Victoria, obviously you were a travel agent for a while, but did you guys have any other jobs between high school and coming into AIE? Like, did you think that that was going to be your career, or did you go, oh, like, did you think you were going to be a travel agent forever, Victoria?
Yeah, I hoped so at the time.
Awesome.
It's fine. It's fine. I like game design a lot too.
I think that they said, I saw a statistic because I used to work in careers, and it was like people of our generation are going to have like 4 different careers or something like that. So make the 4 careers interesting is what I say. What were you doing before you came to AIE?
I was actually doing an electrical apprenticeship. I did that for a year in Victoria and then moved to Canberra and thought that was a good chance to basically do what I had originally planned to do in school. So I took the opportunity. Here I am.
Took the opportunity and ran with it. That's really exciting. So, Victoria, you made Spot That Sound, but for both of you, is there any games you're playing at the moment that are really fun and exciting and like you're like, I want to make games like this in the future? Is there anything like that that you're playing at the moment?
Red Dead Redemption. I'm a huge fan of like big open world RPGs where just the attention to detail is what makes the game what it is. So at the moment, Red Dead Redemption is the one that I'm fawning over.
I recently played Shadow of the Colossus, and I really loved, I guess, like the strange emotions you feel when you're like killing something that you're supposed to, but I think there's like a story in, I guess, the character design and world design that I find really interesting. So things like that really interest me at the moment.
Yeah, awesome. I think at the moment I'm playing like a few games on the go. I'm doing like Borderlands, and I'm also still doing Breath of the Wild. I think I'm like 200 hours into that. And, you know, there's just too many. I'm also, with you, Jasmine, the open world aspect of it is what I'm really into. I like doing all of the side quests before I actually get to the actual main quest. And
for sure.
It's like you'll power up if you do the main quest, and I'm like, but this is so fun. I've got to get her pan back. So it's really interesting. Back to AIE, because you guys, how did you find out about it? What time did you guys start applying throughout the year last year?
I always knew about it because I like live in Canberra, so
yeah,
I've always known that it existed.
Yeah, cool. How about you, Jasmine? Because you're new to Canberra. We are in Melbourne, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I knew there was a Melbourne campus, and in Year 12, obviously, when I was looking at available universities, it was one of the ones that popped up. But yeah, when I came to Canberra, it was honestly the only course, like AIU was the only place available that offered the courses I was after. ANU and UC only had just general IT courses. I didn't want that. The alternative would have been something online. So yeah. And also you guys specialize, so
you know, that is one of our specialties, that we specialize all of our graduates. We find that it makes everyone more employable. So that's our goal, is to make sure that everyone can get a job after. We want everyone to be as employable and have as many options when they graduate. So you, Jasmine, I feel like I remember us talking when you were applying, because I help with all of the applications that come through. And I feel like I remember talking to you and you were like, should I do art or should I do design? You had like a moment being like, I could do them all, but I've got to pick one.
Yeah.
How do you actually like come up with programming being the best one for you?
Honestly, I like to think that I'm pretty good at art already. I can't do anything online, but I do have those skills. Same with design. I kind of do that for fun. When I kind of weighed my options, programming was the one that I couldn't really teach myself. So I thought I'd get the most out of it if I went somewhere to actually be taught it. And hopefully at some point, like afterwards, I can come back and do the other courses if I want to.
Yeah, exactly. How about you, Victoria? Did you consider all the other ones, or design was just the best fit straight up at the beginning?
No, I think I had the same thing. Is like I kind of weighed up what I felt was like weakest at, and for me, design, I always rush into a game and don't stop and think what's the concept and the sort of paperwork element, the psychology. These birds are going crazy. So I feel like game design is teaching me to like slow down and get an idea of what everything's going to be, which is definitely my weakest point.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. If I was going to do a course at AIE, which I've started looking at some of our certificate courses that we run, I was like, I already know, like I'm pretty good at art and the design aspect. A lot of that's really similar to my background, but programming, I am so interested in it, but it goes straight over my head. So I'd be doing a programming course because it's the one that I need to get the most skills out of. So we'll just go into our next question, a question about how classes are actually going. You've done 6 weeks, is that correct so far? What are classes like and how are they going?
Do you go first?
Yeah. Oh,
Jazmin,
me, sorry. I think you said I'll go first.
I'll nominate.
Yeah, so I at least for me, they're going very well. Everyone in my class gets along and we're kind of, like, we all help each other out. There is no, like, I like that there is no hierarchy, or that's probably not the right term, but it's very relaxed and we can kind of do things at our own pace. So I like to think that it's pretty it's smooth sailing.
Perfect.
Yeah, I really have enjoyed it so far. It's definitely made me slow down, think about the entire concept of this game that I'm trying to make at the moment, which is really beneficial. And I think like my teachers are amazing and supportive, and I get along pretty well with everyone in the classroom. And I mean, I think sometimes group assignments can be a bit tough because when it's a class full of designers, we're all like strong-minded ideas people, so it can be a bit hard to come together on a concept. But then you find like all these really interesting concepts coming together make crazy games. So it's fun both ways.
How's it been going? Because here on the Canberra campus, we actually have now an online day class, which we're running for the first time. Have you gotten to meet any of your online, like, classmates because you guys are doing classes together with them? Is it interesting having people studying from all over Australia with you?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
Yeah, cool.
It's a nice.
What do you guys?
Home sometimes.
Well, Victoria, you were saying that you're doing some group projects at the moment. What are you doing in class at the moment?
Oh, this was earlier on. We did a lot of like discussions about different elements of video games, but then also just getting into a group and spending like an hour or so coming up with, like, one of them was a game that addresses a social issue at the time. And so our group, we came up with Super Snot, which is like super hot, but snot, and it's about washing your hands and sanitizing and being COVID safe.
Very good. Good, important message,
Yeah.
Really hitting the important stuff in life. How about you, Jazmin? What are you doing in class at the moment?
Kind of just going through lectures and key points, running through the basics mostly. At the moment, we're doing math, so we're going through all the math formulas and things that we need. Well, not necessarily that we need because everything's inbuilt, but learning how to use them and how they all work. Which, yeah, it's fascinating. It's difficult. There are a lot of things where it's just painful, but we're all getting through it.
I think I came in and visited you guys one time, and you were talking about like the physics of falling or something like that, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. At some point, we will have to build like a physics engine, so that'll be
really.
fun.
Yeah, no, it will be really fun. I'm very excited to see how all of the bodies fall. So what is the most interesting thing you guys have learnt so far? Of course, we're coming up to our first semester break, but what's the best thing that you've worked on so far? Our art class that they've been really enjoying working on their shields and their swords that they've been doing at the moment. What's something that you guys have really enjoyed working on?
I think for me, we're doing level design at the moment. So we just finished our game design document, and from that we should be choosing a level to turn into a real level on Unity. And that's been really exciting, just programming like the mechanics and like seeing them in action and adding in textures to things. So it's kind of like things are coming together from that idea, which is really cool.
Yeah, awesome.
We haven't really started anything that exciting. We're because like I said before, we're just kind of going through like the core of what we need to program. So we haven't actually got around to anything that exciting. But yeah, I don't really have anything to add there. I'll be honest.
No.
It's all interesting when it clicks together.
You got to learn the basics to be able to do the fun stuff.
Exactly.
And once you start working together, like on those big group projects that you'll do at the end of the year, they'll be really fun. And that is when everything all clicks together and you get a taste of what it's like working in like an actual team for the industry. So it's great to see like all of the bits and pieces coming together already so quickly. What has AIBE been like when you first saw all of the stuff like on an open day or anything like that? Has it been what you expected it to be? Like, of course, we are only in the first few weeks, so you are doing a lot of lectures and you haven't gotten up to those big group assignments. But is it like the content? Is there anything that you've gone, whoa, I never thought about that. Like, this is blowing my mind, or anything like that? Or has classes just been like, yeah, this is what I thought it was going to be like?
Bit of column A, bit of column B. Victoria, you can go so I can form what I want to say.
I think like I was definitely a bit anxious about like starting Unity because I just used like smaller, more simple game engines, but like that's been really exciting. Yeah, but other than that, like so far it's been what I expected, which is good.
Yeah, no tricky surprises, which is what we want. We want students to come in and know what they're getting out of the course. I think the challenges will come once you start doing group projects and you're starting to work with the other classes. Because have you guys had much to do so far with the art students, or have you kept kind of to your own streams? We're doing a few social events, hopefully, to get you guys involved in some of with the other groups before you start doing your group projects. But have you made friends in the other streams so far?
Yeah. I'm friends with a lot of the designers. I don't know many artists, but there's a good mix of us. So it's nice. Yeah. Like we'll often sit down and kind of share what we're all doing, and we'll even help each other out, which is good. So we're all kind of in the loop with what each of us are doing, which is it's honestly really fascinating. Like I love what you designers are doing. I actually find it fascinating. It's stuff that I do for fun, but it's good to get an idea of what the others do so that you know what to expect when you do a group project.
Yeah, well, designers are going to be doing some programming soon. I believe you guys have a subject in programming, so you really do get a taste of what everyone's doing if you do design. So that's really important. Hi, Matt. How are you going?
Hello. I am very well, thank you. I don't have a viewer question, but I have my own question that I'd like to ask. Here at the Adelaide campus, we've been running a few events now to like get the first years, I guess, outside of just their study, like meeting each other, making friends, just overall being good people and starting, I guess, networking from a very first week here. So I wanted to ask, in Canberra, have you guys had the opportunity to go to an event or socialize outside of just like the education at this stage, or still like to be done soon?
Well, we had our pancake breakfast to celebrate International Women's Day. We had purple and green pancakes, which was the colour of International Women's Day. But they're actually going up next week. We're doing our big trivia night, which will be a fun event that'll get very competitive because I am running it and I love trivia. So that'll be a starter. But most of the time it's just been lunches and, being like, have you met this person? We also ran a few events at the beginning. Jazmin, I believe you came along to our panel session we did at a bar here.
At the game bar. I came to that.
At the game bar, yeah. And we had some of our teachers and one of our graduates come and chat to us about all of the stuff they've been up to and what their experience was like in the industry, which, is always interesting to hear because it gives you advice on how you should go in the industry. Oh,
I really like the idea
from
of
an
a
event
trivia
officer.
night. I'm gonna start that. I'm not gonna lie.
The trivia, I'll send you my PowerPoints. The trivia will be very good. I like to find the most obscure trailers that I can for different movies, and then you have to guess what that movie is called. So that'll be one of the rounds. So start researching your obscure trailers. Because it'll be really exciting. I don't have a riddles round. I should include that. I'm changing it because I used to live in Wagga and I had a Wagga round, but that'll be changed to a games round to make it more fitting for the students. But yeah, pretty much. I just wanted to ask one final question before, well, it's not really a final question, but what do you guys want to do in the future? Have you guys thought about whether indie studios or AAA studios, or where you want to head? We now with COVID have had so much more jobs are available, that you can start working in Australia for games that might be being made in the US or in the UK. So I was wondering, have you guys thought about that? Because it is such a different world now that you can work in all of these you can work from anywhere, which is really exciting. Have you guys thought, I think I want to create my own studio, or indie games is where I want to focus on? Have you thought about that?
All of those.
All of them. A bit of everything.
I personally don't know. I don't have a set destination of where I'd like to go, but I have definitely weighed my options in all of them. So even if it wasn't in Australia, potentially going overseas for a career, if that's where it leads me, or if things go great here, I might have plenty of other programmers, designers, and artists who are willing to form an indie studio. That's another option. So it just depends. At this point, it's kind of go with the flow, see what happens. But no final destination or goal at this point.
That would make sense 6 weeks in.
Right.
How are you going, Victoria? Where's your goals?
I have a end goal of running an indie studio, but my more immediate goal is to solo make a game, and a really good one too, because all these lists of solo.
I played the game that's on the App Store. It's really good. Matt, do you want to pull up a picture from Spot That Sound? We've got one of the examples up there. Here we go. This is one of the rounds that you can do.
Yeah, it's basically like charades, just with sounds, like everyday sounds, and it's hilarious to watch people play it. It's like such a big like success, not financially at all, but just emotionally, like when people play it and they laugh and you're like, yes, I did that. That's so cool. But no, I'd love to solo develop like a 3D game, like something a little more complex than this.
Well, it's a great start, like to have a game like on the App Store before you even like come into the course. Is pretty insane. And it definitely is very fun. I was reading through the reviews as well, and it was like, this game is amazing. And I was like, yeah it is.
I tell everyone to like review it. Like, I was so sad, and now I downloaded this game and I can see colors again. Like, just ridiculous, amazing reviews.
I'll write you a very descriptive review.
Please.
So it's awesome. So, there's so many different like ways that you can go in the industry now. It's the one good thing that's come out of COVID is there's so many options for our graduates, and there's so many different ways you can go into. So it's awesome to see. Well, my final question is, do you have any advice on like, it could be something on the application process when you guys were doing your portfolio interviews, or it could be just like, do what you're really passionate about, something like that. Do you have any advice for any people who might be watching at the moment who are in year 12 or thinking, I really want to try a new career? Do you have any words of wisdom for them?
Do whatever you can while you're young. take all the opportunities that are given to you. And I know, especially in year 12, or just in school in general, it can be hard. It can be hard. It can be disheartening. I know in my school they didn't give me the advice to do something like this. It was very much become a doctor, or go into medical, or go into science. But if it's something you're passionate about, don't think about like the money involved or that kind of thing. Because end of the day, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. Find a way to advertise it. Yeah. And even if it's something small, even if it's like just selling some stuff and like doing commissions on Fiverr, do it. If you're good at it, do it. Because it'll, like Victoria said as well, it's amazing to sit back and see, even if it's not a multi-million-dollar success, it's something. So go for it.
I have like a similar idea of that, and I think also like it's not that hard once you start. Like, it's hard learning something new, but like I meet a lot of people who are great writers and who are great artists, but they never think about taking that into game design, which is so strange because it would be so natural for so many people. Like, there's such an amazing untapped resource of people out there who just need to get into game design, and even if they just downloaded Unity or something and just played around with it and did a tutorial, I think that might give you the confidence to be like, I can actually do this. I'm going to pursue it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give everything a go.
Am I able to give an example of that, actually?
Yeah, go for it.
It's called Abzu. Just for anyone who's watching, if you haven't heard of it, look it up. It's just ABZU. But basically it was by I think it was a marine biologist who has no experience in any kind of game design program, like nothing at all. But he wanted to find a medium for people to experience what he was, and it created an amazing game. So
it is a
small example, but even if it's not your thing, give it a go.
It's gorgeous. Well, thank you so much. We'll just pass back to Matt, who will wrap things up. But thank you so much for all your words of wisdom, and it was awesome chatting to you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Victoria, and thank you, Jazmin. So tonight, guys, we've got 2 minutes left. So thank you for joining us once again for another live stream. Hopefully, a lot of people out there who watched tonight gained a little bit of understanding about just that transitional stage from thinking about it, maybe do I want to do this, now into, yep, I'm all in, and the journey and I guess the pathway for Victoria and Jazmin is well and truly started, and we look forward to what they're going to create over the next year or two. So for anyone watching though that does want more information, please head to our website or get in touch with your local AIE campus. There's a lot of resources here online for you. So we've got all our courses listed. We've also got a wonderful bunch of events that we run throughout the year. So these are free to come to, and they are quite diverse. So we've got Industry Experience Day, which is our next event. So that's on April 13th. At Industry Experience Day, we'll be running students through an hour of each workshop. So they'll be getting hands-on with software used in game design, game programming, game art, and then also visual effects and animation for film. So a really good tool used if you're not sure what course is right for you. You can jump on the computer, learn a little bit about it, and go from there. We've also got open days coming up in May. So please head to the website and book your spot in. Some of these do have a maximum number, so reserve your spot now. Other than that, there's a whole bunch of information on here for you, or if you're not much of a reader, just get in contact with us. I'm more than happy to help. But thank you once again from the AIE team. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Jazmin. And we wish everyone a happy night, and we'll be back soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.